I'm here with Megan Bascom at Triskelion Arts in Williamsburg. I just finished watching her latest piece, which is Dream.Fly.Awake.Continue. And she'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I got that right. So, Megan, tell us just a little bit about this piece. Tell us maybe a little bit about the inspiration, where you started with the idea.
I think the idea started along the lines of remembering dreams I had as a kid and always being able to fly in the dreams and wondering if that was something that other people dreamt as well. And then I started thinking about kind of the thought of just flight and how it's kind of a crazy thing to just be able to fly, and then the history of flight and how he came up with the idea to be able to be in the air and kind of what people started doing to be able to fly.
The movement for the piece, do you come in with choreography set, or do you have the dancers create? What is your process, just briefly?
We started with, I had a bass phrase that I came in with, maybe two bass phrases, and they made their own phrases off of that. So we've used a lot of the material that they've made, and then a lot of the material, just the original material that we've tweaked or added to based off of them. But I came in with a lot of words, so half the time we would play games, and I would be using fighting words for maybe the second half of the piece. So, pop somebody, or, all sorts of just things that I don't ever think of fighting words really naturally. But in the beginning, a lot of the words were flight words, words that reference planes, rudder, tilt, torque, kind of maybe the idea of a pathway, like a landing pathway, and things like that. We're really just having a word and making a movement to go with it, and then putting them all together. And changing the order and seeing what really worked best. It was shown multiple times. We've shown at 3 or 4 different venues as a work in progress, and it was titled Simply Fly then. So we recently changed the title to kind of encapsulate, I feel like, the whole meat of the whole piece more.
How long have you been working on this particular project?
Since I think late March.
Okay, so
May.
So you've had a little while to work on it and allow the piece to take its own little journey. Have there been any surprises along the way for you in that sense?
We were able to take about a month off in July, and leave the piece alone where it was at its halfway point and come back to it. And I think the hardest part was trying to build the difference between that dreamy wonderment kind of place into how was I going to show the idea of maturity and things getting in your way, and you could look back, like you had said earlier, you could look back on childhood, but you can't necessarily go back there because you just know things that you didn't know when you were younger. So how to transition into that was definitely a challenge.
So what are some of the small things that intrigue you about dance, or some things that intrigue you about movement or relationships between humans as you create a piece, or as you even see pieces out there?
I think the habits that everyone has, like how you can say, oh, that's a style of this or that or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's the same for people who hang out with each other. They may say the same thing or do the same motion, or
Okay.
even down to just like the way they move their head, or just all the little tiny nuances of movement and the habits within them that we either copy because we like that somebody else does it or says it,
Okay.
and those sorts of things are the things I find the most fascinating.
Okay.
I like huge movement, and I like movement that happens all in unison. I'm just
Okay.
kind of a sucker for that, but as far as the values of human movement, I just think that everyday mundane stuff is really fascinating.
So this will be performed October 22nd through the 24th at the Rover SoHo, which is a new space. I'll post all the information there. So you have a couple more weeks left, and then finally the premiere. Best wishes and best of luck with your premiere.
Thank you.